A new AAA Lord of the Rings game is coming. Microsoft's Activision Blizzard deal has been approved by the EU. Mortal Kombat 1 has officially been announced, and the long-awaited PlayStation Showcase is next week. All this and more on this week's episode of Checkpoint.
And we are live. Welcome back to Checkpoint, brought to you by Strictly Casual, your number one show, bringing you the important news and breaking down the biggest stories in the gaming industry. I'm one of your hosts, Vince DeSantis, joined today by James, who's done with finals, Walmer. It didn't come to me fast.
Finals.
It didn't come to me fast enough.
That's
Audio
true.
listeners, thank you for listening. You can find us on YouTube at youtube.com/strictlycasual. Please hit us with a rating on audio platforms and subscribe. It helps us out a bunch. What else is going on the channel is that the website, it's live, but there's still a couple things that need to be worked on, but you can go to it right now if you want. It's at a state where you can check it out at strictlycasual.co. That's the website, strictlycasual.co. It's a couple things that need, shaping up a little bit, but you could go do it. You could go do it right now.
Oh, you can.
Yeah, pretty exciting. Pretty exciting that it's live. So, yeah. Very, very nice. James, we got some big news happening this week and finally some movement on Microsoft Activision Blizzard's acquisition that got approved by EU regulators. A couple weeks ago, we got news that it was rejected and denied by
Not by EU, not by EU, but by the UK.
So by the UK,
different.
sorry.
Yeah, this is different. This is the EU. So
Right.
UK, right here, it says, I'll get into it. This comes from The Verge. Microsoft's $6.7 billion deal to acquire Activision Blizzard has been approved by EU regulators just weeks after UK regulators blocked the acquisition. There it is. The European Commission has concluded that the deal can pass thanks to commitments from Microsoft related to cloud gaming. This whole rest of the article is on cloud gaming remedies that Microsoft is implementing.
Yeah, it's interesting because the UK blocked it because of cloud gaming, which is weird.
Right. It was weird.
Because they believe that's going to be a big part of the future of games, and this will have the stranglehold on that future.
Which, to be fair, has sort of been Microsoft's deal for a while. We've been speculating on the show. Microsoft is moving to cloud gaming platforms. The Xbox stick is going to be a thing.
Yeah.
Sooner than we know it. So this doesn't really relate to that though. And the rest in the rest of the article. I'm going to get into it and why that's the case. The EU found that Microsoft would have no incentive to refuse to distribute Activision's games to Sony, and that even if Microsoft did decide to withdraw Activision's games from the PlayStation, this would not significantly harm competition in the consoles market. But EU regulators, much like the UK, did find that the acquisition could harm competition around the distribution of PC and console games through cloud gaming services. The European Commission has identified remedies to allow for the deal to go ahead through the 10-year licensing deals that Microsoft has offered to competitors. These include a free license to consumers in EU countries that would allow them to stream via, quote, any cloud game streaming service of their choice, all current and future Activision Blizzard PC and console games that they have a license for. Cloud providers will also be offered a free license to stream these games in EU markets. So,
yeah, explain this like what you think this means.
I think this is hard for me to read, hard for me to understand. I think that's in reading this, you could tell that I kind of don't know what they mean.
Sure.
But what I think they mean is that they're worried about game codes being distributed and game keys being distributed across cloud-based platforms.
Sure.
For example, they're worried about access to certain games, so that if you have a Blizzard game on your device, say you have Diablo 3, or say you have Overwatch 2 on your device, I think they're worried about not being able to access that game after the Activision Blizzard deal has gone through. It feels like a very post-facto sort of thing.
Sure.
Where it's, because this deal's going through, this means that we are now restricting access to these games that are previously available because those are now only on Microsoft Xbox platforms.
Yeah, this would mean anybody that has a key to any anybody that owns a license to any Activision Blizzard game would be also have the ability to use that game on Xbox's cloud streaming device or whatever or cloud streaming software.
Right.
Platform.
They would not have to buy it again.
Yeah. The only thing that I think that what I've read is missing is like, I don't think Activision Blizzard is going to take away the service for games that they've released on other platforms. Like, I don't see them
on,
like, let's use
Blizzard or sorry, what's the Blizzard service? But like Battle.net, yeah.
But no, I don't see this going through and then Blizzard being like, and that's it. Sorry guys, we're no longer, like, if they're not supporting Diablo 3 anymore, let's say, I don't think they're supporting Diablo 3 anywhere. It's not just PlayStation. Like, they're still gonna, it would be there would be something wrong with that, of them not supporting just one console after the game's been out for 6 years or something.
Well, it'd be more of I think it would be more relevant example would be Diablo 4 because it's not an old game. Like, that's going to be a game that is going to continue to have support.
Yeah.
So to use Diablo 3 is kind of a bad example, but Overwatch 2 is a fairly good example. Diablo 4 is a good example because these are games that are still receiving support. So
that's true. Live service, something like that. Yeah.
Right. So the question is, are these games on different clients going to still be receiving those service, or will they have to I guess, for lack of a better word, transfer over their license from whatever service they're already on to Xbox's platform?
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I kind of don't think that'll be the case because there's still, this conversation that we're having right now about licenses is exclusive to PC and Xbox platforms.
Right.
What happens when Sony is in the equation because Diablo 4 is releasing on PlayStation 5?
Yeah.
Is it not?
Yeah, it is.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah. So I don't see a Xbox client releasing on Sony's platform by any means.
So what are they going to do? They're going to have to buy an Xbox and get it for free? Or they're going to have to...
that's my question is so I think, my question, I guess, is does this deal protect ownership of these games on
the console,
Sony platform, specifically on console,
because
consoles, Nintendo Switch and Sony?
We're in a little bit of a
PlayStation,
like, privileged position to be able to have a console and a PC. Now, like, the PC might not be in like tip-top Diablo 4 shape, but let's say it comes to cloud streaming, that would make it a little more doable. But a lot of people don't have access to something that can, maybe the internet even, that can like do that cloud streaming. Right. So if you were to restrict that license outside, let's say this person has a PlayStation, if you were to restrict the license outside of that hardware, then they might not have another way to play that at all. I guess the cloud streaming, the nice part is like, oh, maybe you could play it on your phone then, you could cloud stream it there, but it's just not the optimal experience at all that you paid for. I would expect like some sort of, especially, if your internet's not good, I would expect a kickback, like money. I would expect a refund from that. It would suck to have that pulled away from you. But I like how they're thinking about this though. Even though I don't see this being like their final statement on this or anything. Sorry,
I have to interject. And this final point that we didn't read, it says these licenses are automatic and mean that consumers will have a right to stream Activision Blizzard games they've purchased or subscribed to on, quote, any cloud game streaming service of their choice and play them on any device using any operating system.
But how? How are they going to do that? If they have this technology to like be able to cloud stream the game from an Xbox like thing to a PlayStation, like I want Game Pass on PlayStation, like things like that. It's got to be doable. Let me cloud stream.
If they could play them on any device, then I think they would have to just not touch PlayStation. That statement can't be true if the PlayStation's left out.
Totally. They said any device, any operating system.
Yep.
To me, that includes PlayStation, but obviously it doesn't because this deal
is any.
Yeah, I just don't know how. How would they do that?
Yeah.
Would they release an app?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's crazy to me. But
I don't know if does this mean that this has to go through a Microsoft client?
it might. It might. You
I
can
don't know. I don't think it does.
We'll have to see. This is the
Let us
first.
know what you think.
This is the first regulator approval, I believe. This is like step one to.
No, it's been approved in other countries. I think South Africa approved it.
Okay. So it's just the UK still that has the block on.
I think so.
Are we at a majority now? Of like.
We added a majority approval.
Okay, so I mean, this is the sign that it's going through. It's like it's happening.
I mean, we only have so many more days until it finalizes, right?
Yeah. What is that? Do we know the date?
It's at the end of May.
That's insane. That's insane-o. Also, did you hear Phil Spencer said that this is their like not their main plan? Which is great.
I was talking to Jeff, or I wasn't talking to. I was listening to Jeff Grubb's Game Mess, and he was talking to someone. I forget the co-host name about this and how this is not their primary. It was probably Mike, about how this is not their primary plan. Like this
is great.
Not the thing. I'm like, okay, thank God.
Yeah, thank God.
Not everything's. They're smart enough to not have everything right on this.
Totally. Yeah, I agree. So, I'm sure we'll have more news in the coming weeks because this seems like a never-ending story that we've been talking about for a year. It's been very interesting, though. It's been very interesting how this all plays out.
May 15th was the likeliest date, but it's the 18th now.
And that was just 2 days ago?
Oh, EU regulators extend deadline. No, what? Never mind.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have the...
I'm sure we'll have more info soon.
The deadline.
But
it's supposed to be late May. We'll see what happens.
We get a new game coming, James. I'm going to intro this and
throw
throw it to you. Ready?
Okay.
12 minutes in. And a new AAA Lord of the Rings game is coming. This comes from GameSpot. James, what do we got?
Amazon Games is partnering with Embracer Group and Middle-earth Enterprises to create a new Lord of the Rings MMO. If this sounds familiar, it's because Amazon Games previously had a deal to make a Lord of the Rings MMO with Leyu, but it fell apart due to a contract issue. Amazon Games is now trying again and will develop the game internally this time. Amazon's new Lord of the Rings MMO will enter a market that already has a popular and established Lord of the Rings MMO. Standing Stone's Lord of the Rings Online is still out there and getting new updates. It doesn't appear the game has any plans to slow down, and in fact, there are reports that a console edition of Lord of the Rings Online is in the works.
Did you ever play this? You ever play Lord of the Rings
Never.
Online?
You know what? That's a lie. It's not that I didn't play it. I got to the character creator and never got past that.
Okay, totally fair. Yeah, I think
Did you?
Yeah, back when I only had like the 2012 MacBook Pro or whatever, and I jumped on Steam, and that was one of the free games that worked on Mac, and so I downloaded it, gave it a shot for all of 30 minutes before it just completely, tanked the laptop. Just did not play well at all.
But, oh God, okay.
Good times.
And you just never went back to
No,
it
never set foot back. I am interested though. I do like Lord of the Rings. I like MMOs.
Maybe it's for the best though.
Sure. With this new one coming, what else we got?
Amazon's game will be an open world MMO adventure set in a persistent world in Middle-earth. It will be based specifically on The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings literary trilogy, not the films or other adaptations that have come to fruition over the years. It's also not connected to or associated with Amazon's Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power TV series.
Is very interesting because you would think that they would want to spearhead that era of like Middle-earth with the show, and now Amazon would have a game behind it too. They could make that like really large, but I guess that
they could really make it tied in. They could Disneyfy the whole thing.
Sure, yeah, you could. Yeah, absolutely, you're right.
The Lord of the Rings universe.
Amazon Games Orange County is the team behind New World, is leading development on the untitled new Lord of the Rings MMO. Amazon Games isn't saying much yet about the game, only confirming that it will be a AAA title and it's in the early stages of production. The game is coming to PC and consoles. More details will be announced later. Amazon Games VP Christoph Hartmann said, quote, "Bringing players a fresh take on the Lord of the Rings has long been an aspiration of our team. And we're honored and grateful that Middle-earth Enterprises is entrusting us with this iconic world," which is pretty interesting. But I think the best part about this is it's coming from the New World developers. New World was an MMO that came out from Amazon that genuinely did pretty good. Like
It did do pretty good.
Kind of took over social media for a while. There's still player base, but there's one important part from that game that everybody's hoping that gets brought into the Lord of the Rings kind of MMO verse. And so basically, there is large scale multiplayer battles in New World to where like there's different factions you have when you start and sign up for the game, and you collect resources. And once your resources are at like a certain point and back to your base and you've built your team up, there's a way for the region that you're in and the region that you're connected to fight for that land. And they're sanctioned at a certain time that you have to log in, and the battle's like an hour long. It's like intense, insane, but people love them. It's a big draw to New World. Even now, people will log in just for the battles. So if they bring that successful type of war to Lord of the Rings, that could be a huge selling factor for it too.
It'd be really fun.
Yeah, they already have that. That's like the bread and butter of New World.
Does this mean to let you play as like an orc or an orcai?
Maybe, because it would be interesting. It would feel weird to just be like, oh, these are going to be the elves, all the elves versus the humans. I feel like what it's going to be is you're going to have just a bunch of different races and types of characters, and you go to a certain clan or something like that, and the clans are at war instead of like the types of people are at war.
Is that like canon though? Is that sort of, can they work that in?
I don't know how that would work. I have no idea. But basically, we got a final quote here. It says, "In fact, the game will give the studio a new opportunity to take much of what they worked well for New World, revisit it with the benefits of several years worth of technology advancements, and apply them to a way that's relevant to Lord of the Rings. While New World's Azoth engine will form the foundation of the game, the Orange County studio plans to evolve that engine considerably to deliver something that feels distinct from New World and fitting for the world of Middle-earth. The team has some big plans for the next generation of New World's Azoth engine that will unlock exciting new possibilities." And their game looks good already, and it doesn't take crazy hardware to run their game, so that's leaves the door open.
About the older Lord of the Rings MMO?
No, this is for New World.
Oh, New World.
It looks pretty good, and you don't need a crazy system to run it. So
great.
I think that's
well
a great. This is a great news, I think, from a developer standpoint, and having Amazon do it is already a little sketch. I don't know if I like.
Yeah, they need
that.
to win, I guess.
Amazon.
Yeah, because they've had a lot of games and just not come out, right?
Anybody heard of Luna? Amazon Luna?
Oh, no. I remember Amazon Luna.
Yeah, it's still trying to happen. It's not dead yet.
No way.
Yeah. You could still claim free games on Amazon Luna through Twitch if you have Twitch Prime, and like they're trying different things and it's not happening. What I suspect Amazon Luna will do though is, they're like a cloud service. They're going to have to go dormant until cloud gaming really blows up. Like I don't think it's a dead idea, but right now it's kind of dead. I don't see much movement happening over there.
No, I don't either.
Just pretty crazy. Yeah. Does this excite you, James? Like Lord of the Rings MMO, or just
no,
not into MMOs?
It's not into MMOs at all.
Sure, totally.
Hate an MMO.
Okay, that's totally fair. I would like to hop in and see how this goes. I think for New World, I kind of like hopped in, did the tutorial, did the first little bit, but then I didn't have a crew to run with, and then I was like, well, that's like the point.
That's the issue. I'm just a solo player a lot of these days.
Yeah, I am too. So who knows? Maybe they will make that experience better, but time will tell. Thank you guys so much for watching this clip. If you want to watch the entire podcast, you can go on podcast platforms and type in Strictly Casual Checkpoint. It's a little blue box. It says Checkpoint in white letters. This is episode 162. We also talk about Activision Blizzard Deal getting approved. We're talking about Mortal Kombat 1 and the PlayStation Showcase happening next week. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Peace out. That was my best outro yet. Felt good.
You did great.
Thanks, man.
Good job, man.
All right, what's next?
Sony announced its PlayStation Showcase for next week. Huge deal. Finally long awaited. We've been thinking, speculating. Jeff Grubb has been grubbing his speculation. He was right. He was on the money. Sony has announced that it's 1 hour long. I think it's like an hour and 15, actually. Could be wrong. PlayStation Showcase will take place next week on May 24th, focusing on games coming to the PlayStation 5 and PlayStation VR 2. Announced in a PlayStation blog post, the event will start at 1 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. UK, and run for a bit over an hour on PlayStation's YouTube and Twitch channels. Though it remains vague about what fans can expect, Sony does promise to showcase games in development, quote, from top studios around the world and offer a glimpse at several new creations from PlayStation Studios, unquote, alongside third-party and indie developers too. Sony does have several projects in the works at PlayStation Studios, some of which can make an appearance. One highly anticipated game is Marvel's Spider-Man 2, for example, which is expected to launch in the fairly soon fall 2023, despite Sony showing very little of the game so far.
It's a surefire
and
bet.
What else?
Right?
What?
That we're getting Spider-Man 2 at this? Like, it's a surefire bet.
That's what they keep saying, but there's a lot of speculation, a lot of scrutiny, a lot of skepticism, because we haven't heard anything.
Well, it's not going to delay.
We don't know.
Oh, man.
Here's the thing. At the beginning of the year in January, Sony released a thing of like what games are coming out in 2023. Spider-Man was on that list, so it's got to come out in 2023. They never said when in 2023. We just know it's coming out in 2023.
That's true. Everybody said November, but we don't really know that for sure.
We don't really know that for sure. They never said that.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, we also get Naughty Dog, potentially.
Yep.
It's a big rumor that they'll have their Last of Us multiplayer entry, the Factions game. Maybe we'll see what it is or something like that. I don't know how far along this game is. I have no idea.
I don't know how this game excites people. I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of people are excited for this game. I'm not one of them.
I'm excited for this game.
Why?
Because I like multiplayer shooters and I like The Last of Us world. So I'm excited. That's it.
But do you want it to play like The Last of Us?
No, it's not going to play like The Last of Us.
What the hell? What?
I think it'll play. I think it's going to be very different. I think it's going to be set in the world of The Last of Us, and they're using The Last of Us to bring in an audience of people that have played the game and now watch the show. I think The Last of Us is like an IP now. They have that name recognition. I think that it's going to play differently. It's still going to be third person, I believe. It's still going to be about gathering resources for whatever it's going to be, but it's not going to be, there's going to be stealth elements, I'm sure, like the game, but I don't see it being like a
cover shooter?
No, it'll probably be a cover shooter. I'm just trying to imagine it in like a multiplayer-esque world. It needs to move faster than Last of Us does. Last of Us is a very slow, you enter combat slow. Sure, things can get crazy fast or whatever. They can get crazy, like in a fast fashion. But you're never like, I feel like this game's going to move quicker than Last of Us combat does. And it'll feel different than a Last of Us game.
Does it have to?
No. But they're going free to play. This is going to be free to play, I bet.
Live service?
Totally. Yeah. Big time. Maybe they promise not live service, but they promise like, this is the game. This will be the game for 6 months. And in 6 months, we're going to not drip feed, but like you'll get another major content drop. But it's not going to be like an every week update sort of thing. Because Naughty Dog's going to want to focus on their next single player game.
True. The space one, sci-fi.
And it sounds like
Think we're going to get that?
No. I mean, they can pull an Insomniac and show two things. It's happened before. It can happen again. The last PlayStation Showcase was 2021.
Oh shit, it's been a while, 2 years.
It's been a while. And most of the first-party people have not shown first-party studios haven't shown what they're working on. Maybe a couple at Summer Games Fest and stuff like that, but really there's a lot of things in the dark for this.
Really exciting.
Totally. I think we're not seeing Wolverine. We're not seeing Knights of the Old Republic because that just had the, studio switch, which seems like it's a big deal because Aspyr is not doing it anymore. They delayed it indefinitely, and then another studio picked up Knights of the Old Republic. So,
right.
I don't know how that's gonna go.
Metal Gear Solid.
Oh yeah, there's all these rumors about Metal Gear Solid 3 remake. We talked about that last week too. I think
Bloodborne?
It's possible. Bloodborne, yeah, Bloodborne Kart and Bloodborne 60 frames per second, all coming out. Yeah.
Yep.
Gotta happen.
Do you think we'll get something on Pragmata?
Remind me what Pragmata is.
The moon one with the guy in the suit, and it's,
that's when they showed like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Yeah.
I would hope we see that. I think we see Bend Studios' new game. after Days Gone. I think that we have a
Do
potential.
we get Horizon multiplayer?
Yeah, we're gonna get it. Definitely. They've been working on it for a while.
Armored Core gameplay demo.
They'll save it for Summer Games Fest.
How much of this is going to be PlayStation VR 2?
I think they show one major title for PSVR 2 and then one that nobody cares about.
I think they'll show 2 big titles.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think we'll get a montage of indie titles.
Yeah, smart. They're definitely going to do the montage of indie titles. Little Devil Inside, will it be here?
It better be. I've been waiting for that goddamn game
Me too.
since before the PlayStation even launched.
Yeah.
My question is, new PlayStation.
Yeah, man, I don't know. I want to say no. But who am I to say? Who am I to say, James? We're about to hit the halfway mid-cycle of the console cycle, which is crazy to think about.
I know.
So it makes sense because they're going to have to give it a year or maybe 6 months to launch. I don't know, however long that is. So possibly, are we going to get the handheld here too then? I mean, they could really make it a crazy showcase. They could really make it a crazy showcase.
Do we get what Sony Santa Monica's working on?
No.
After Ragnarok?
Not yet, I don't think. But apparently that game's far in development, even through Ragnarok. Like, they've already been cooking.
Oh, wow.
Because Corey's heading that, I guess.
I think we're going to get more than I want of Death Stranding too.
I think they saved that for Summer Games Fest too.
The
Kojima and Keighley bond. And now with Kojima's like Xbox ties for this unannounced game.
You're right.
Kojima should do that. He should make Death Stranding 2 exclusive to Xbox and make people buy an Xbox to play it, and then make people buy a PlayStation to do the first one. That'd be insane.
Yep.
That would be leveling the playing field.
Yeah, it really would be.
What else? Bungie's new game. I bet they show Bungie's new multiplayer game.
I could be all in once again. It could be a love at first sight for Bungie and me.
Everything that they've described it for me, I don't like it, but I don't know. What is it? Tarkov style. It's an extraction shooter.
I'm out.
I know. I don't like extraction shooters. Even when they try to make an extraction shooter easy, like in Call of Duty, like they tried to implement it to make it easy for the general public to jump in and do it. It still sucks jumping in and getting all your shit taken away. Like it sucks. I don't know. But I'm sure Bungie could do it well. I believe in Bungie, so we'll see how that goes.
So I think it's like, do you think they'll re-show Suicide Squad? Do you think they'll?
No, it does not get shown. They're gonna do fundamental changes to that game. I'm gonna assume right now it's unplayable.
I don't think they can. What are the odds that game gets sent to the scrap heap?
No, it's coming out. It's coming out, James. They were collecting pre-orders already. That shit's coming out. Did you see the video of somebody that pre-ordered Dead Island 2 8 years ago, and the GameStop employee called him and said, "Hey, like you've already paid this game off. I don't know if this number's active." Like it's a real voicemail, and the guy it's the funniest thing ever. I thought it was
awesome. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Okay. Long story short, got a lot of announcements. This could be what we used to call an E3 of dreams.
This will be. I guarantee it will be.
Yeah.
If this is not like above an 8.5 out of 10 press conference, I'm gonna be disappointed, which just sucks because I have these high expectations and I don't want to have the high expectations. It's been a long time.
Maybe we should have the high expectations. It's been 2 years.
I mean, PlayStation's been putting out great games, but I couldn't tell you what's really coming out.
But we've come to the end of this cycle.
Yes.
Where it's the release, the showcasing of these big games, and we've kind of like gotten to the end of that first stretch where it's like, hey, here's all these games, and then we got the Ragnarok, we got the Horizon 2, we're getting Spider-Man, fingers crossed.
Right.
This first wave of initial showings is kind of coming to an end, so we need a new carrot on the stick to keep us going for the next couple of years.
And that's what this is going to be, hopefully.
Yep.
Can't believe it's on Wednesday, and I can't believe I'm going to miss it live. I am just so upset. I'm not going to go on my phone. I'm going to try my best. See how it goes. That brings us to the final topic. Next week's show, by the way, stay tuned. We're just going to do it entirely on the PlayStation Showcase.
Yep.
It'll be fun.
Buckle up.
Buckle up, baby. And buckle up for this, too, because we got some more gross body explosions
Gore.
in Mortal
Yeah.
Kombat 1, which was revealed today, and it takes the franchise back in time. This comes from Polygon. James, what do we have here?
It's an entry that will bring the story into the past and bring the series into the past. It's officially coming this year. Warner Bros. Games and longtime series developer NetherRealm Studios announced that the next Mortal Kombat game on Thursday, with the reveal trailer confirming that the fighting game will be released on September 19th on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 5, Windows PC, and Xbox Series X.
This begs the question, why did they do it right now? They have huge showcases they can show this stuff on with way more eyes that week. Why would they do it?
Do you know why? Because they don't want that initial reveal to be the trailer. They want to do a little gameplay.
You're right.
Summer Games Fest.
You're right.
They want to showcase a character and show how the game is changing, because everyone's going, why the hell are we rebooting this franchise?
Totally.
And so they're going to be, here's how we're rebooting the franchise. Here's how we're going to stick to the roots of Mortal Kombat and what you know and how you love Mortal Kombat to be. But this is why it's entirely new. And this is why we need a reboot. And they're going to give you the whole why behind it.
It'll have the hands-on with press Summer Games Fest days.
And maybe an Ed Boon little
talk through. Yeah.
Yep.
But this is coming out, James, too, the same year that a new Tekken is coming out and a new Street Fighter is coming out. Like the biggest fighting games ever. Games.
Yep. Big year for fighting games.
Yeah.
Choose your fighter, literally.
Literally choose your fighter.
The first trailer for Mortal Kombat 1 confirms the return of some familiar faces: Shang Tsung, Liu Kang, Raiden, Scorpion, Kitana, Melina, and Sub-Zero. But they look quite different from the combatants that players may know for the past 30 years, as Mortal Kombat 1 is set deep in Mortal Kombat's history. Deep. NetherRealm and publisher Warner Bros. Call MK1 a, quote, reborn Mortal Kombat universe that has been created by the fire god Liu Kang with reimagined versions of iconic characters, unquote. The developer promises a new fighting system, new game modes, and the series' iconic fatalities, some of which can be seen in the debut trailer above. Mortal Kombat 1 will also include a new feature called Cameo Fighters, described as, quote, a unique roster of partners to assist you in battle, unquote.
No idea.
Fun.
What that could be.
What are your thoughts on this reveal?
Good. I mean, I think Mortal Kombat's cool, but
no, that's not your thoughts. That's not your feelings. We're bummed. We're mad. We're angry. We're sad. Because this isn't Injustice 3.
That is...
Or something new.
I think I watched this trailer and I'm like, damn, I wish they were making an Injustice 3. For sure. That's like the initial thought. The second thought is like, this is a great cinematic. And the third thought is, I've never bought a Mortal Kombat game on release, and I probably won't buy this on release. Like, I've bought a couple of them on sale when they're like sub $10. See what I did there?
Yep.
Sub?
No.
0. Ha, 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 ha. Yeah, that was pretty bad. But I like these games. They're fun. I'm not like a fighting game grinder, except for Injustice 2, which changed me, which why I want Injustice 3. That one did make me a fighting game grinder, truly.
Yep, me too.
So good. That game was so good.
Yeah.
Everything about it. It was like a fighting game where there was progression with each character to unlock like certain suits and everything, which I'm sure these fighting games have too, like Mortal Kombat 1. I'm sure it'll have something similar.
It's just not as cool, in my opinion.
Something was different about it. I don't know. Even though Injustice 2 was like very clay, like everybody looked kind of clay facey. It was weird, but the costumes were awesome. And the story was bad. So but like, it didn't matter. It was just fun. It was just really fun.
It was a really good time.
Yeah. So...
No other fighting games I learned like long combos for characters and like stun locks and grabs, like combo chains that would hold you for like 30 hits and insta kill you if I got every single move off.
Yeah.
No other game have I done that for other than Injustice 2.
0. But I don't know. I don't know why that one grabbed me and nothing else. But
yeah.
It's cool. I mean, I like NetherRealm. They're a cool studio, and I think this looks like a fun game.
Ed Boon's a cool guy.
He's a cool guy. So good for them. And I think the idea of like where it takes place and stuff.
Hey, you know what? Ed Boon's not a cool guy. He cock blocked us.
Why?
because he said that he's before the reveal, he said no one ever said it was Mortal Kombat.
That's true.
And then everyone was like, "Oh my God, it's gonna be Injustice.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like some other game." And
Yeah.
then he was like, "Just kidding. It's actually Mortal Kombat. What you thought it was." I'm like, "Oh,
Totally.
fuck you."
I won't forget in 2018 going to the Game Awards and when they revealed Mortal Kombat 11, I think it was. I don't really remember. And it was like world premiere, and then all of a sudden, like Scorpion's chain like flies through the screen. It like shatters and breaks it down. And everybody was like freaking out, and I was like, "This is awesome. This was really cool to see."
Yeah, it's cool.
But that's it. I actually never played Mortal Kombat 11. I don't think.
I only played it on other people's consoles.
Yeah, naturally. Actually, I think
that's the type of game Mortal Kombat is. I only play it on other people's.
Yeah.
Because people who really like Mortal Kombat are gonna play it, and they're gonna make me play it with them so they could beat me.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. They want to feel a little bit
I
better
think
about
Mortal
themselves.
Kombat. I think people who love fighting games have a god complex.
Yeah. Mortal Kombat's like an ego booster. It's a status booster.
Yeah.
Major status booster.
It is.
It's funny. That's Mortal Kombat 1. I have no other thoughts about this game except the trailer was cool.
Nope.
And I think the
I
design
didn't
is
watch
cool.
the trailer, I'm gonna be honest.
You should watch it. It's good.
Yeah, I will.
It looks very good. I mean, that's the thing about cinematic trailers right now, though. It's like every cinematic trailer looks insane, looks incredible, and the game is never quite there, except for Horizon Forbidden West, which I think is really close to all of its cinematic.
And God of War.
Yep, and God of War. Guys, that's it. That is episode 162 of Checkpoint.
Huh?
Yeah.
What are you playing, Ben? What have you been playing this week?
I'll tell you what I've been playing, James. You tell me what you've been playing first.
Okay, so in the middle of finals.
Yeah. We played the same games this week.
We played the same games this week. However, yesterday, I had unexpected plans. My partner's family was in town, so I didn't get to play them. But I got to spend time with her family, which is great. Just in case she was listening to this. And it was like, you're talking about playing games. Anyway, jumped into maybe 10 minutes of Zelda.
Okay.
Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
Here's my thought process. I didn't start out the week with Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I started out the week with Jedi Survivor. And it really, there is a dissonance, a letdown, I would even say, of going from God of War Ragnarok, which is crystal clear and that has so much going on screen, and can run it consistent like 4K 60 frames per second, to going to Jedi Survivor, which struggles at 60 frames per second.
Yeah.
I mean, barely even hits 60 frames per second.
Yeah,
Only hits it in smaller. It hits it in smaller corridors, but the minute it opens up to a bigger world, chugs, goes down to 40s, maybe even to 30 frames per second. The character models are a little chunky still. Like Cal's face looks a little clayey.
Yeah,
in game. Yeah. Well, the cinematics all don't look very good.
Which is weird because I had thought that too, and I think there's different cinematics in the game. There's like the rendered cinematics, and then there's the in-game cinematics, and the in-game cinematics are okay.
Don't look good.
Yeah, they're just okay.
The frame rate's down. I don't know why they struggle with frame rate in-game cinematics.
Do you notice when you launch the game too, even the Respawn logo chugs before it loads up?
Damn.
It's pretty funny. It's really funny.
So, in my wanting to flee from Jedi Survivor for the current time.
Wow, a flee. So sad.
I'm fleeing from it because it's taking me out.
Really? That bad?
I'm like, I don't want to play this game right now while it's like this. If there's a possibility that this game gets a little better in the coming weeks, I know that Zelda is more than capable of holding my attention for those weeks, and Zelda's hot in conversation. So you know what I did? I bought a game voucher.
You did. You did the game voucher.
I did the game voucher.
Nice.
And I bought Zelda, and I am still going. And I just booted up right before the show and before my therapy session this morning. I just played like 5 minutes of it with Zelda and Link going down the
dark
below below Hyrule Castle
with all your hearts and all your stamina and the Master Sword in perfect condition and a cool outfit. Yeah, enjoy that 10 minutes. Enjoy that for 5 minutes.
Yeah, I heard they Metroid you
so
at the
bad.
beginning, and they just bump you back to level 1.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm so excited to jump in this goddamn game, Vin. I know that's all you've been playing. I know you rolled credits on Survivor.
Yeah, I rolled credits on Survivor on Saturday.
Yep.
I got
Walk me through it.
I got Tears of the Kingdom Friday morning. Oh, this is a fun story. I knew I was going to get Tears of the Kingdom.
Tell it.
I didn't know where. I was going to do the game voucher to get 2 games, whatever like this. And then my work Slack chat keeps on talking about this fanny pack that they're giving away at Target with the purchase. And I was like, I want it. I want it. I want to do this. So you can only get it. You can't even pre-order the game and then pick up the fanny pack. You just have to buy it in store that day and they give you the pack. And so I go to the local Target and I'm standing out there with like 30 other people. Like 20, 30 other people that are all waiting for this stupid fanny pack. So stupid. And then this Target lady comes out. I'm like, why am I even here? And this Target lady comes out and she's like, guys, I'm assuming you're all here for the new Zelda game. And we're like, and people are like, yeah. Everybody's excited. We can't find the box of they call them hip packs, adventure hip packs. We can't find the box of the hip packs. And like a big sad sigh. This guy immediately when he hears that starts booking cheek for his car. You know he's finding the next closest Target and going right away. And so I'm thinking about it, and there's these girls next to me that are like, I don't know, I might just like stay. I just want the game. It doesn't even matter. And I'm like I was like, I got up early for this. I got up early to go get this stupid hit pack that I don't even need. I'm never gonna wear it in my life. I don't know what I'm doing here. And so I'm like, all right, how close is the closest Target? We're going. And so I went to another Target. It's already open. There's people in a line. I'm in this line at a different Target. And somebody behind the counter says, we ran out. We only had 9. I was like, 9? You only had 9 hit packs? You know how many people are buying this game? It was ridiculous. And so I'm going up. 4 people before, they found another box. And so let me show you the adventure hit pack, baby. Hold on, wait a second.
Audio listeners, you're missing out. Subscribe to our YouTube membership program to see it live. There it is.
It's horrible quality. It's like probably the cheapest thing you've ever seen. But it's epic and I have it and it's a good story. And that's it. Okay, so
it doesn't need to be anything more.
No, I have a good story and memory behind it now. Okay, what I've been playing is finished Survivor, rolled credits, absolutely freaking loved it. There's so much. I can't wait to like spoiler talk a lot of it with you and Ryder because it's very exciting for me. The game's incredible. We'll talk about it more soon. Tears of the Kingdom. I hop in. I have not progressed the story whatsoever in that game, but I have just been doing shrines and just using the new powers. And the new powers are way more fun than anything they give you in Breath of the Wild. And it is crazy for me to say that this is a better game than Breath of the Wild, but to me it already is. And I'm less than 10 hours in to the game.
How are you playing it? Pro controller?
I'm playing it with an Xbox controller. And I love it. It's great.
Okay.
Because I have my other Pro controller is like a cheap.
How does that work?
Knockoff. I have a little
dongle.
No, it's wirelessly. It's just a little adapter that plugs into the Switch dock.
Yeah.
And the controller connects to that thing, and then it reads it as a Pro controller, and it just remaps all the buttons automatically. So you're good to go, and it works with Rumble. You can use the gyro with it. There's no lag in between how I'm doing it.
Try with the DualSense?
I have not tried it with the DualSense, but it works with the DualSense too. Yeah, it works with any controller.
Is it different than like just a normal like Bluetooth connector?
Yeah, it's like because you can use it to even connect to a PC if you want. You can connect a controller to it, or like Steam Deck or any handheld. You can connect to it that way. I don't know. It's like a Raspberry Pi in there or something. I don't know, some sort of small computerized thing. But So yeah, I've just been doing that, and I love it. I can't get enough. Even when I made dinner, I just paused the game to listen to the music, and it was beautiful. It's that kind of game.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So, yeah.
Can't wait. I'm gonna play that as soon as we wrap on this fucking show.
Do it. I think I'm at 8 hearts. I'm feeling good. I'm at 8 hearts, 1 stamina bar, or not 1 full, but like 1/4, or like 1 sliver. So feeling good.
Wow.
That is episode 162, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Any final words?
Thank you. I love you all.
We'll see you next week for PlayStation Showcase. I'm excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
Peace out, guys. Bye-bye.